Hi, I'm Crystal, and thank you so much for joining me on the Warrenist Live, where we celebrate the art, culture, lifestyle, and people of Warren County, North Carolina, and beyond. Now, before we get started, I would love for you to like, comment, share, all that good stuff so we can let all the people of Warren County and beyond know about all the wonderful things that are happening in our community. And I am truly honored to have our guest today. This has been a long time coming, and I'm so glad she's taking the time to join us today. Mrs. Latarshia Turner Brothers, or in some circles, people know her as Peace Brothers. She's the owner of Turner Brothers LLC and the event organizer for the 10th annual community celebration and food truck rodeo that's happening this Saturday, April 1st, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Warren County Recreational Complex in Warrenton, North Carolina. So, and she's joining me today, and we're going to talk all about it, and I can't wait. So, thank you so much for joining me on this show today. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing just fine. And yourself?
I'm good and good. I'm really excited about what's going to happen this weekend. I know there's been a delay because of COVID, but I can't. I'm so elated and excited that it is coming back. So,
That's right.
but before we hop into that, I want to know more about you, and I'm sure everyone else does too, because we're used to hearing your voice on the radio. Some might not know what you look like, but I don't see how that's possible because you are everywhere.
It seems like it, doesn't it? Well, first
Oh,
I want to thank you for having me on the show. And unfortunately, Dr. Darensburg had other obligations, so she couldn't be on with us today. But nonetheless, she does send her love, and she's pretty excited. So I got to make sure I tell you all that. Um, Me and Dr. Darensburg, we met, I would say, back in 2014. I had just moved to Warren County. I think around 2012 or so. So we met in 2012, actually. And I was at, her and I both was at Northside Elementary School for Career Day. I was there at that time, not for Turner Brothers LLC, but for another business that I had. And it was, so I came as an entrepreneur. And
all
she was
right. Mm-mm.
representing the radio station. And she kind of heard my story and I heard her story. So at the end, we got calling me right now, so I do apologize for that. But
That's
we got to talking there, and she invited me to come to the station the next day because I told her that I had a degree in communications from the illustrious Bennett College in Greensboro, and
mhm.
from that point, I went to the station, and I haven't left. I've been there ever since.
Right. So,
That's,
but my question, I guess, is how did you get to Warren County?
well, my husband is from Warren County, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I love Tory Brothers. And so I followed him to the moon and back. But yeah, that's how we ended up back here. We were in Greensboro, I would say, for about maybe about 15, 16 years after we graduated. And we ended up, God brought us here. And we have been here ever since. And we didn't have intentions of being here in Warren County, but that's why I say God had bigger plans than us. So we're here, and this is home, and this is where we're building.
Awesome, awesome. Now you talked about your company, Turner Brothers LLC. Can you
Yeah.
tell us more about it?
Yes, so Turner Brothers LLC, I am really big on marketing, branding, promotions, consulting, and that is the gist of what Turner Brothers LLC represents. And we do it in every component, whether it's a home-based business or a brick and mortar business, or whether
Mhm.
you're an organization that's hoping to start. We offer also things like I help put together campaigns or things of that nature in the
Mhm.
political arena, meet and greets and things of that nature. So I'm really big on events and coordinating from that component. But the biggest thing is consulting. I don't know. God gave me a billion ideas, and when I talk to someone, I see a big vision on how to mass promote it, and I go from there. So that's what Turner Brothers LLC is.
Right, and we've definitely seen your work online and off.
Yeah,
So definitely, if you need to get the word out, I would seek her out.
they call me the plug, and I say, okay, I'm the plug then.
All right, all right. So, but let's get back to the radio. So, um, Okay, so is that when you started your radio career with WARR?
I started with WARR officially. I was doing a little bit of radio and media in Greensboro, because my degree is into that. So we kind of covered radio, TV, magazine, the whole nine. I
Mhm.
started off writing for a magazine there and delved into other entities. So WARR gave me my first opportunity to actually be an on air personality. So I started off as Peace Brothers. I have had the name Peace. I'm in the music business too, so I've been in the music business for a long time. So I've had the name Peace as my industry name for now over 25, probably 30 years at this point, right? So,
Okay.
so it was a natural to keep that component here on the radio. So I started off as a radio personality, went on from there to become corporate account manager because I build relationships. Everything in business, everything in life is about building relationships, and
Yeah.
I'm phenomenal at that. And it just made sense to get into the component where I can um, make more income. And becoming a corporate account manager allowed me to do just that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you yeah, so what would you say is the most rewarding I won't say task, but what's the most rewarding thing about working in radio?
Meeting the people, the opportunities that I've been blessed to have. Like, I remember one year we went to the Art of Cool. We got our media pass, and I was able to meet Erica Badu, Anthony Hamilton. Some real A class people. And I got to give a shout out to the Muassides for that. With the Art of Cool that took place in Raleigh. But the people, the community, working with the interns, touring at the schools, that the people is what really breathed life into the station and into me. I love it. I love God's greatest creation, I always say, and that is all people. So that is the most rewarding part of it. This is the relationships that I've been able to build.
Right. And so you're saying as far as like meeting people now, we all know a few years ago COVID hit, right? So that prevented a lot and then also it kind of created opportunities too. But how would you say that WARR and Turner Brothers LLC, how was that affected by COVID?
Um, well, it did stop us or prevent us because right at the top of COVID, we were planning our 50th anniversary for the radio station.
Mm,
At that time frame, they just turned 50, so we had a big gala we were planning at the Armory. We had the big community celebration. We put a lot of love and work into presenting that community celebration and gala to honor the 50th. And so all of that was at a halt. The parks were closed down. We couldn't go out and do things. And of course, the mask. So it was a lot of things that in that respect. However, we were still able to successfully do some things because I think right before that we had just got the FM component, the 103.5 FM.
mm,
We were able to kind of build the station up a little bit more,
mm,
if you will. And even with Turner Brothers LLC, it didn't really stop me as much because a lot of the things that I do with the consulting, I was able to do from the phone, from the internet, from the Zooms, from the meetings like that. So it wasn't such a bad thing for me. However, some of my clients, their businesses closed. Even for the radio station, the businesses closed down. They
mm,
couldn't afford it. So we lost some of our clients on the radio. And as everyone know, well, everyone don't know this, but let me tell y'all, the way that radio stations work is the advertisements, the sponsors, the commercials, the shows. We need all of that. So if we
mm.
lose a client, that can hurt what we need to do as far as keeping the station running nice and smooth. So it's imperative to have those contracts and those clients and things of that nature so that we can continue to spread the word and give information to the community as they need and continue to give great music. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, so, but actually, the backtrack a little bit, and the question actually was for Dr. Darensburg, but I definitely know you could answer this question as well. But the way that we consume media now is a whole lot different than it was, 10 years ago. No, even 5 years ago, right? With the
Mhm.
popularity of like podcasts, like the online shows, I mean, satellite radio. How does I would say like traditional radio, or you could speak on WAR or just traditional radio altogether. How does that fit into like I guess this new media? landscape.
I love it. We can have the new media and all of those things, but we still have a huge component of the community who depends still on the traditional way of listening, especially our more seasoned community.
Right.
So, um, what we've had to do was kind of transition to kind of get with the times, which is why we go really hard on Facebook and social media and things of that nature. And inevitably, I believe that we will get into the social media broadcasting too, like the YouTubes and all those things. I think down the line, that's something that we can look into, especially with some of the younger generation coming on board, because some of those interns actually turn into employees. So, with that, and we take into consideration the times of change, but we also honor the simplicity of the community radio. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? We honor that. And I think that, yes, we have all these elements, we have all these things, but when people are driving in their cars, I know we listen to CDs and everything else, but sometimes you want to hear what's going on with the radio. You want to hear some of the, I know I have to listen to D.L. Hughley every day. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. But I have to listen to them every day. And I'm sitting there just cracking up, or I'm listening to some of the updated news, or I'm listening to what the world thinks about a certain issue like gun control, so it's a very personal in type of engagement when it comes to radio. It's something that you can't get from the internet. On the internet, yeah, you get people making comments and they may share and all that, but you don't get that simplicity and that commonality of just being able to communicate right then and there through the radio, through the call-ins. Those kind of engagements are to me priceless.
Oh
So
yeah,
with
absolutely.
that,
Right,
yeah,
and yeah, and I've heard like the same thing, like they say, like newspaper is dying, this is dying, that's dying. I'm like, no, all of these things are still needed. You
absolutely.
know, for some people they love to, like you said, you turn the dial in your car, want to listen to the
Mhm.
radio. You want to have the actual newspaper in your hand. Some
Yeah.
things just it
And
can't go away.
you
Sorry.
can't always trust the you can't always trust the technology too, because you got people spamming people, you got people stealing your information. It's not as safe as it is to just turn your radio and listen without you having to go through all these components, all these ads going down. Which ads are necessary? I ain't not gonna ads. Hey, advertising is advertising, but
Yeah,
some people just don't like that, and some people feel like, well, it's too negative on social media. But when they listen to us, they're not getting that negative energy. I like to say that WARR is more composed of positive media, because you really don't hear the stories that you're hearing all over the news and that we're being drained on social media. You hear great music. You hear, some great people on there talking our sports show. You hear all those great things, but you ain't got to worry about the mess that's going out in the world. You want the love and you want the fun, which is what our theme is this year for our community celebration. So it just makes good sense to stay locked in to something that's pure.
absolutely. I definitely agree. And that is the perfect segue because I would love for you to talk about this Saturday's event, the community celebration and food truck rodeo. This
Yeah.
Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Tell me all about it. What
It's
can we
going to
expect?
be a lot of fun. I would say this is one of the biggest, most diverse events that we'll have around here. We have every community represented, which is my favorite part. I love to bring our motto for the station is WARR, where the community comes together, right? The
Mhm.
community doesn't consist of just one element. It's everybody. It's inclusive, right? And so we
Right.
want our events to reflect that. So we make sure that our
Yes.
Hollywood community is represented. They're going to be out there with the youth tribal dance, and they're going to have the fry bread out there, but they're also going to be there to raise money for their youth to go on. They're going on a trip to a conference in DC.
Okay.
So that's the point of them selling the fry bread. It serves a purpose, right? And then we
Right.
have our Colombian dancers coming from Durham, but these particular Colombian dancers had just finished a big carnival, one in Colombia itself, and then the other one in Durham about 3 weeks ago, and the Kiri Academy. So they're coming out, and that's pretty exciting. But then we have our local Warren County High School band is going to be out there. Our Dub
Mhm.
C finest, our Warren County Middle School
Yes.
section, and we've had them before. We love to have them there because they always do a fantastic job. And then we have the St. Mary's. praise dancers. These are the cutest little kids, and they are doing a praise dance. So we're pretty excited about that as well. But then the way that the station operates, we always start the morning off with Dr. Darensburg doing a prayer. Every morning when that station comes on at 7 a.m., you hear the prayer coming from her, right? And then we
Mhm.
go into our gospel segment.
Yeah.
And then after 1 o'clock, the gospel stops and we go into our R&B, jazz, soul, blues, all that good stuff, right? So that's the
Mhm.
same format that we're using at the presentation at the celebration. So we'll start with Melvin's gospel train. He'll open up the gospel with the gospel singers. We have David Hargrove and Company. He's local Warren County, and his CD is phenomenal. He'll be out there. He'll have CDs that you can go get autographed copies of. So we're pretty excited about that. Every vendor, every performer have their own table. They have merchandise and things that you can get. And I like to say that some of the people that we have there, we know for a fact that they're going to blow up like no tomorrow. So getting your copies of their CDs with their autograph or getting a hat or a t-shirt or any of their paraphernalia with an autograph on there, that's going to be priceless one day. So I would
Oh yeah.
urge everybody, come get your selfies with these people out here because it's going to be worth it. I think it's worth it right now, even though they're not in Hollywood yet. You know what I mean? Because this is people who are putting love into something and they're sharing it with us. But we have David Hargrove, and then we have Jerry Harrison and Faith coming out of Nashville. And I think for the past five celebrations we've had, Jerry has been right there with his full band, his speakers, the whole nine. And
Okay.
man, does he give a spectacular show with pristine sound. I love it. We love having him there. So he's
Mm.
coming. And then we have Angela Neal
Okay.
Williams will be out there. And I ain't even got to tell you that voice, that quality of voice that Apostle Angela has. Amazing. So we're pretty excited to be able to get her. We got her at the last minute. And so
Okay.
I'm thrilled that she was able to oblige and that she'll be able to come out and bless our hearts and souls, right? Um,
Right.
so she's going to be out there, and that covers the gospel component. And then we'll have Keelan Mirable. He's our station manager. We love Keelan. Keelan also works at the TV station WRAL, so he does both, you know. But
Oh, okay.
he's an Aggie. He's an Aggie. He wears his Aggie stuff proudly. But
Yeah.
we love him. But he'll introduce our dance segment. So he'll introduce the dancers, the multicultural dancers, and then finally we have our um, R&B and Southern Soul segment. So we have Darrell MDA. He's doing R&B. He's out of Henderson.
Mhm.
And we've had him perform when we were doing our Party at the Polls celebration. So he
Okay.
was out there. And then we have DJ Fab. He's going to introduce his artist. He's an artist manager out of Henderson. So he's going to introduce his artist, Mr. Magic, and then Nino the Gentleman. So we're pretty excited about that.
Okay.
And then Willie C, the Blues Master, is gonna come
Yeah.
on out there with TNT. You know, we love our TNT band. Like they have our hearts, and we see them everywhere. So being able to have them perform at this event is a big deal to me. You know, so I got to give a shout out to Tony and the crew. We're excited about having him. And then finally, we end
Mhm.
that segment with Big G. Big G is a huge in Southern Soul. It has worked with an abundance of amazing people. So we're pretty
Okay.
excited. Yeah, we're pretty excited about having Big G come there. So that's the entertainment component. So it's a lot of segments to it. It's a lot of music, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement, a lot of good energy or
Oh
better,
yeah.
good
And
vibes.
all that's free.
All of it's free.
Free
It's free.
entertainment.
It's a free, and I have to say this because a lot of
Mhm.
times we have events like this. The artists charge. They all charge to come to these events.
Mhm.
But what I'm appreciative and humbled of is that they didn't charge us. They're doing this for the community. So they are
Wow.
really coming out to represent literally for the community. And what we offer them to come out is they have a table set up where they can do their paraphernalia and everything else. We play their
Mhm.
music on the radio and give them all the exposure they need. And we so into them. We love them. And so how we give back is by allowing them to do that kind of thing. Have their table, sell their paraphernalia, and have a conversation like we're having right now. Put it in the paper. We give them mass exposure.
That's
So
beautiful.
yeah, so I
Okay, so
love it and I appreciate them.
yes, definitely support these artists, you guys. So, but yeah,
Gotcha.
vendors, like who can we expect? The food trucks.
Yes,
We love to eat.
gosh, we do, we do. Oh gosh, I don't even have my book in front of me, so I'm gonna have to go off memory. I don't know why I don't have my book in front of me, but
That's
I'm gonna try
okay.
to go off memory on some of this. So first, I gotta shout out our sponsors because in all of the events that we have ever done, we have never had the response of sponsors like we have with this particular event.
Wow.
I believe if I can go off memory, we have about 20 sponsors. We have about 20 sponsors.
Whoa.
Our diamond level sponsors, um, I have to make sure I shout them out. Is you have Home Meds with Jimmy Neely, with
Mhm.
Chris Wilcox, with Harry Sutherland. All of these three men came together to do our biggest sponsorship package, which was the diamond package, right? And then
Mhm.
you had Board and Royster, who also did a diamond package. Diamond packages or diamond sponsorships is $1,000 or more.
Wow.
So that's what that component is. And then we have our silver sponsors, which was the Warrenton Insurance Agency. Mayor Gardner always look out every single
Mhm.
year. I can say that every year he's done a sponsorship, or at least for the past 4 or 5 years, he's done a sponsorship. But this time he upped it and gave and did a bigger sponsorship than he's done before in the past. And I have to appreciate him for that. And he's also going to do a proclamation at
Oh,
the event. So after the prayer from Dr. Darensburg, Mayor Gardner's going to come on and he's going to proclaim April 1st, WARR Day, So that's a big deal for us. This is the second
nice.
proclamation that he's going to do for us with our theme being covered on this one, which is love. And
Mhm.
so I'm pretty excited about that. And then you have Marjorie White State Farm Insurance out of Henderson. That's my girl.
Okay.
She does all my insurance, my house, my car, my life insurance, everything I get from Marjorie White State Farm. And she's another sponsor who has sponsored us, I would say, in about the last 4, 5 events. She has been a sponsor, always dedicated, always willing to give, and just a beautiful spirit. And I must say this, I got to say this for the record,
Sure.
some of the best customer service I've ever had from her entire staff. Marjorie
Wow.
White State Farm Insurance in Henderson, off the
Mhm.
chain. Love them. And then our other silver sponsor, my other silver sponsor is Working Landscapes,
Mhm.
Gabe and Carla. Love them. Every event that I have, they always come through to some capacity, whether it's giving out some food, whether it's giving out
Mhm.
information, whether it's supplying hot chocolate and coffee. They always
Okay.
find a way to support in just about everything that we do. And we've collabed in the past on certain projects, but I have to give them a huge shout out because they represent like no tomorrow. So that's them. And then our other silver sponsor is Terry Garrison of Terry Garrison Realty and Associates in
Mhm.
Henderson. We have such a great relationship with Terry Garrison, and we appreciate him tremendously. Um,
Mhm.
so we definitely want to make sure that we shout him out. And after that, we have all bronze sponsors, and I would take up the whole time of your show going through all of those bronze
I
sponsors.
see.
Y'all gonna have to be here and get the booklet. We got a special booklet made. It'll have all the sponsors, all the information in there. But I will say one of my favorite sponsors, um, out of all of them are great. All of them are wonderful. But I was surprised by this particular sponsor for the bronze, and that was Vanity Noor with King Fitness and Nutrition. I was elated
Okay.
when they agreed to be sponsors because at the events that we always have some type of exercise component. In our past ones, we've had Zumba at the park, or we may have some type of dance and some type of dance or some type of movement at the park where the community can come out and
Um.
do a little exercise. So I'm thrilled to have her and AIM as one of our sponsors. So that was a big deal to me with that sponsorship. But we had a lot of great people to really sow into this project, and I believe that maybe I mentioned towards the end all of them,
Mhm.
but it's so many to kind of name, and I want to be able to kind of cover some of the vendors we have there because we have
Yeah.
8 youth vendors. Stoked about that. In fact, at one point we were gonna kind of do this together with our local youth entrepreneurship organization, but we had to
Hmm.
kind of do things a little differently. So we just kind of opened it up. We always have youth at all of the events we've ever done. So
Hmm.
in that essence, it's really I was really blessed and feel honored that we have these young people coming from all over. We have some King Lemonade coming from Durham. You know,
Okay.
we have Kay Mitchell, the artist, coming out of Oxford. You know, we have Soleil and Luna out of Florida. These are Dr. Darensburg's granddaughters, and they're the two beautiful faces you see on the newspaper article.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
they
yeah, I saw
came down to
that.
bring us all their art, to get ready and get prepared. Of course, you got my son Chance and man Art, who will be out there, and a slew of others. So I'm pretty excited about that component.
That's awesome. And see, and I know there's several more. But what I love about that youth entrepreneurship component is that now, how are you gonna have that set up? Is it gonna be like just like a kids corner, or they just gonna be everywhere, just amongst the other vendors?
I'm glad you asked that question. I have a special place for them because we have a kids zone, and in the kids zone, that's where we have the bounce houses from Boho the Clown. We're gonna have the bounce houses out there, and um, a lot of activities and some activities that was brought on from the Warren Parks and Rec. They're gonna have like a face painting and things like that.
Hmm.
So right by that area is where I'll have our youth entrepreneurs lined up. And
Okay.
the reason why I want to do that is because I do want to distinguish them from everyone else. I don't want them to
Okay.
fall into, um, all of the adults and all of that. I want them to have their own space. So
Hmm.
they're going to have their own space, and I got signs that where people will be able to see where the youth entrepreneurs are versus them coming there trying to hunt. Well, where is this one at? Well, I want to see my baby. People, their families are coming, and I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
want them hunting all over the place trying to find them. I want them to have a
Where my
cohesive
baby?
place, a cohesive place for them.
Right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so but that's awesome. Then we talked about, well, we didn't talk about the food trucks. Like I said, I love to eat, so of course that's what I'm gonna be looking for.
Yeah, we have 9 food trucks. Now you're gonna have to
Nah.
forgive me because I can't pronounce all of these names of the food trucks that we have, but
Hmm.
we have Frito's Taco, and Frida has like the Bodega tacos and things of that nature, and she's out of Lewisburg. That food truck, well, I don't want to say she. That food truck is out of Lewisburg, so I believe her and her
Hmm.
husband do that business together.
Okay.
Then you have Mama Nim's.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
Mama and them's Creole food truck. They're gonna have the
Oh, okay.
gumbo, all that good stuff on the truck. And then we have I can't pronounce this. I can't pronounce this name. It's Taquia. It's in Spanish. But
Okay.
it's an autumn. It's an actual Guatemalan food truck. Because keep
Oh,
in mind, so we want all international. We don't want no
right. That's great because so that's you're covering a very diverse, like not just the entertainment, the people that are going to be on the stage, but you also have diversity in
we
everything as
got
far as the vendors, the food that's going to be
everything.
there.
Even our Hudson's Chill and Grill is going to be out there, and she's going to have loaded baked potatoes. Most times at events like this, you don't get that kind of food. You get like the basic kind of like carnival style food and things of that
Right.
nature. Right,
Hmm.
but this time I wanted you to have a nice variety. So we got Hudson's Chill and Grill and Chill, Takeda Togo Mugis. Forgive me if I'm saying the wrong people. I already told you Mama nails. We have, of course, the Wandering Dog. Wandering Dog has my heart.
Hmm.
That's Warren County all day. But every event from the North Carolina markets to the WARR community celebrations, Aaron is always there with the
Yes.
Wandering Dog representing.
Yep. Was
Period.
that was that the North Carolina Christmas parade? Yep. He is always there.
Everywhere, always there. And I have to give
Yep.
them a special shout out because we have some Warren County students from the high school who are going to be our volunteers. And part of his sponsorship to them is to make sure they get fed for their service that day. So
Awesome.
love to Aaron Askew and the Wandering Dog crew. We're going to have the Soul Bachi food truck out there. Again, we want healthy options among the not so healthy options.
Right. You gotta balance it.
Gotta balance it. So Soul Boxy offers cuisine that everybody can eat, that has the vegetables and has your protein and all that good stuff, but also things that some of our vegetarians may want to have, with the
Right.
vegetables. and things of that nature. We have Wing Master E and Trinity Eats, our Warren County newest food truck. Oh my
Hmm.
goodness, hands down, love them. So you'll have a variety of different wings to get.
Right.
Again, to me, that's something different that you don't see at some of these events. You see people frying whole chicken or whatever, but you don't normally get these wingettes. Or my favorite from them, the chili cheese steak. No, 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 the uh, the chicken Philly loaded fries. That is
Oh,
my favorite to get from them.
okay. I haven't
Off the
had
chain.
that one, but
Oh,
they're oh gosh, it's like the honey sriracha wings. I
oh
think it's what.
yeah, off the chain. Off the
Yes.
chain. Then
Okay.
we have Warehouse Barbecue LLC. They're out of Raleigh, so I'm
Okay.
excited about having them there. And finally, we have Soul Jamaican food truck. If you guys remember, they used to be So Delicious, Chewy Delicious,
Truly delicious.
Chewy
Yeah.
Delicious in Henderson, and now they are Soul Jamaican
Mm-hmm.
cuisine food truck. So they'll be out there joining us as well. And then we have three, four dessert trucks. We have Andy's kettle corn. Of course, he'll have his pretzels, the kettle
Oh yeah.
corn, all that good stuff. And Steve's snow cone cups. He makes traditional snow cone cups, the old school. Okay.
Yes.
So we like
Mm-hmm.
that we have the old school because other trucks have Italian ices. He got the old school snow cones. But he also
Right.
has nachos and things of that nature. So he'll have
Mhm.
a variety of things. And then we have my favorite funnel cake truck in all of the world, period. Hands down, the funnel cake zone, Lelaine
Yeah.
Bakehouse. Every event, I don't care what event I'm having, she is always my first go to. Are you available?
Yeah.
Always. I love her funnel cakes. They are absolutely the best. Melt in your mouth, off the chain. So I'm excited about having her. And then we have Yum Stop.
Okay.
Yum Stop has Italian ices, but her Italian ices come in chilled pineapples. Ain't that something? Ain't that interesting?
Yes, it is. Okay. So
So
I'll
I'm
be making
excited
that
about
stop
that.
as well. Okay.
Yes, and then of course, Moose Mobile Bus will be out there, and Moose has a surprise. I don't know what he's gonna have out there, what they're gonna have out there, because he have surprise menu. So I'm not gonna tell everybody what he's gonna have, but he'll be out there, and I'm pretty excited about that. So those are pretty much all our food trucks now. Two of our youth entrepreneurs will have food, like Chef Borar TJ.
Okay.
He's with
All
the
right.
Rashad Willer. He's with the Rashad Willer Incorporated crew nonprofit, and he'll be serving fries. He's aspiring to be a chef, but he's going to have fries galore. So he'll be out there with his fries. And I
All right,
think I
go
did tell you
chef.
that. I did tell you that that we have a young lady also who have desserts. We delight to be out there with dessert with her cookies. And we have I can't this saying her name is such a task. But I'm about to try to say her name. Let's see here. I got my book now so I can see everybody who's coming out. Quajaniza. Um, her company is called Sweeten Up. Sweeten Up is going to be out there. She's going to have
Okay. All
candy
right.
apples. Yes, I'll just say that she's going to have the candy apples and things of that nature. Um, she has the candied fruit like the strawberries. She has the candied grapes, and she has these candied apple slices. Like you can get them with turtle style. Things like that.
Oh
So
yeah,
she'll have
yeah,
stuff like.
yeah.
And then, of course, dessert wise, we'll have Cicely Dream Company. Her daughter is one of our youth vendors. She's going to have the cotton candy out there. So I got to
Okay.
make sure, Kinsley, that's her name, Kinsley. We got to make sure we acknowledge Kinsley. And then we're going to have Fruit Fusion. Pastor Sharp is the pastor of Warrenton Church of God in Warrenton, and his sons, Roland and Conrad Sharp, are going to have fruit on a stick that you can
Oh,
get, and they're going to
okay.
have smoothies. They're going to have fruit smoothies, and they're also going to have like strawberry shortcakes. So they're offering a component with that. And Bright Light Lemonade, another youth vendor, Nuri Hunter. We love her. That is the daughter of Peter and Zeb's owners, Demetrius and Latanya
Right.
Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have
Yeah, and I just to speak on that one because I know her for sure. The lemonade is absolutely
Whole
delicious.
nother level. Whole nother level. She has
Yeah.
one that you can get the mint in it. She has one that you can get the rosemary.
Mhm. One with
And
ginger.
yes, with ginger. Hers are really on the healthy, on a real healthy component. And really good for your body and some of the elements that we go through. So I
Hmm.
absolutely love her. Sour. She has some that has a soursop in there, and I know a lot of y'all don't know what soursop is. It is a Caribbean fruit, but it is phenomenal for your body, for your health. So absolutely, we're excited to have her there
Hmm.
um, with that. And then, and I guess I don't want to miss anybody out, and I would like to, if you don't mind, for me to take a few minutes to just to name the bronze sponsors really fast.
Yes.
All right, so I
Yes.
already told you all that one of the bronze sponsors was King Fitness, right?
Hmm.
Then we have Warren Animal Feed. Man, Jennifer Jordan Pierce, our commissioner of Warren County.
Hmm.
I'm excited that she sponsored this event, and I'm pretty excited to have her out there. She's been phenomenal through this whole process. Um, Always in Bloom with Claude O'Hagan. He's the commissioner for Norlina. I
Hmm.
would say that Claude has been a sponsor of our events for at least the last 4 or 5 events. He has given to us tremendously in ways that no one else has. I
Wow.
remember when we had a radiothon one year, he gave $1,000
Wow.
to our youth internship program. And
Hmm.
throughout our internship program, my daughter was one of the interns there, and he sponsored her all 4 years that she was at the station financially. For her,
Wow.
yeah. So Claude Hagan is the man when it comes to looking out for the community. A lot of people don't know that about him, but I'm telling you, he loves to support these young people, and he always shows support to our events. Then we have the Lakeland Cultural Arts Center in Littleton. They're one of
Hmm.
our broad sponsors. Tar Heel Tire Sales and Services. Let me tell you, every single time, every single year we've had an event, they always sponsor. Every single time, the same amount every single time. The bronze sponsorship is $200. So this is what their contribution is. And then you have Commissioner Warren County Commissioner Walter Powell. Again, every single event we have, he's always sponsored. He, in addition to Claudia Hagan, sponsored my daughter all 4 years for the internship program financially. So Walter is here for the kids. He's here for the community. So I got to give him a shout out. Mr. Baskerville Auto Body up here in North Carolina. Every
Hmm.
single event, everyone we've ever had, even from my North Carolina Market festivals, he always sponsored, always looking out. Um, this is the first year for Warrenton Furniture Exchange. They're also
Okay.
one of our bronze sponsors. I'm pretty excited about that because some of my furniture pieces come from that store. So I gotta give a shout out to Mr. Gardner because he represents a lookout. He's also, I have to say this, Mr. Gardner is also our longest running client at WARR. He has been on the station for as long as the station has existed. So over 40 years being here
Whoa.
from the beginning, before my bosses even had the radio station, he had his commercials there and he keeps them on there faithfully. So I have to make sure I give him accolades for that. Our longest running client at WARR. Thank you,
Oh,
Mr. Gardner.
yeah.
Tucker's Roofing and Construction
Hmm.
with Tommy Tucker. And you know, he has the Cantaloupe Festival coming up in July. But
Hmm.
Tommy, every single one, he always sponsors every single time. And he's actually been the one this year who's going to be providing our access to our stage.
Nice.
Representative Michael Ray for
Okay.
District 27. Yes, he matter of fact, he just had to do some votes that were really tough as
Mhm.
of recent. But yeah, Representative Michael Ray, he's one of our sponsors. Cruise Balloons, got to give my shout out to Jaja because
Yep.
she is so special, and her ability to take balloons and create the things that she create is amazing,
Yes.
hands down.
Yep. Just hired her recently for Tip Max book signing, and amazing. She down to the colors, exactly what we wanted. So
I stand
yes.
her ability to customize. And she's done an event for us in the past. I think the last one we did before COVID hit, she did our balloon displays for our stage, and it looked like microphones. And she had the WAR on the balloon. It was colorful. It was amazing, but it was really windy that day.
Uh,
So we got David Royce for funeral service, another bronze sponsor. Branch and Associates Realty, another sponsor. Sean Lee Funeral Home. the Warren County Brotherhood, Commissioner T. Davis, and
Mhm.
Larry Jones Jr. with the RH Green, the director at the RH Green. They
Mhm.
have the organization, the Brotherhood, and they came together like the brothers that they are, and they sponsored this event. So I got to give a shout out to them. And then Bragg and Rooster Beer and Mead, another surprise sponsor. Absolutely love them. And my first experience there is when I did the dance, the dance with Vanity Newell. They had the
Oh,
exercises, and I actually went to that. Whew, Lord Jesus, I went and I got through and I survived it. But that's how I got to meet the meet I think Morgan there, and it was really
mhm.
great. And so they came on to sponsor, and I really appreciate that. So bragging
Uh-oh.
there to me, it's one of the best looking bars I've ever been.
Mhm. And just also to add, they are very community
You hear
oriented.
me?
Yeah, I hear you. I just don't
You hear
see
me?
you.
Okay,
I got you.
my nephew in Arizona, and he's trying to call. And then finally, Ray Can Handyman. My husband, Tori Brothers, is a
Mhm.
bronze sponsor of this community celebration. So that is all of our sponsors. Our contributing sponsors were Valerie Jordan, of
Mhm.
course, with NC North Carolina Transportation, and RH Green Funeral Home, Hendricks Truck and Time Out Sports Bar. He's providing our stage.
Okay.
And then Fagan's Funeral Home. And I can't forget Quick Print. Quick Print printed these books for us, these books that you're going to be able to get at the event. Can you see them?
Yeah.
This is the booklet that we have. It is a fabulous booklet. It has everything that's happening there at the event, all of our sponsors, all of our vendors, everything. So they sponsored us with this. They looked out for us with the booklet. So I have to make sure I shout them out. But those are the components of this event. We have over 40 vendors.
That's a lot. It's really something for
Everybody.
everybody.
Period.
Seriously.
I will say that one of my favorite nonprofit, well, one of my favorite community organizations are going to be out there is our sheriff department, and I'm
Mhm.
pretty excited about it because they're there to also do recruitment. So they'll be out there to give information. They're hiring for deputies, and it's imperative, especially with I'm about to get a little political real fast, especially with them pushing through the gun repeal today. It went through. It's going to be a law now. They
Mm.
overwrote the veto, so that's going to be tougher on our share and on the
Mhm.
communities at large because people are going to be able to get guns
Mhm.
without without the credentials that they need. Anybody going to be able to get a gun. So it doesn't matter about your mental. It doesn't matter if you got a record. It doesn't matter about any of those things. You're going to be able to cop your weapon. So they need more deputies, and so they'll be out there. They have a pretty stellar compensation plan, but you'll be able to get the information when you come out there. But they're also going to be picking up your drugs if you have any prescription medications that are passed through or that you want to come and dispose of. You can come
Mhm.
there and get that from the sheriff department, and they're also going to have lock boxes that they're able to provide you for those prescription drugs as well. So I'm pretty excited about them being there. I'm excited about Rashid Wheeler Incorporated being there because they're going to be out there covering the CPR component,
Oh.
giving out information that I think is imperative. Also, Pink with a Passion, they have a big event coming up, but they always
Mhm.
provide information about resources available for patients who are dealing with cancer, and not just breast cancer, but all cancer. So
Right.
I'm pretty excited about them being there. Our Warren County Health Department is going to be out there. Um, so I'm excited about that. Abria's Chase Foundation Incorporated is going to be out there out of Henderson.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, they're going to be out there too, giving information because they do a lot for the community too, like
Yeah.
with the fire extinguishers and the fire alarms and things of that nature. They'll be able to cover some of those components, but they also an organization that gives to families who are in need, like clothes and shoes or people who have dealt with fires.
Yeah.
They're able to provide to those families some resources. So I'm pretty excited about her being there, and they have a special. I have a special love in my heart for them because my children went to Henderson Collegiate with their children, and
Oh.
unfortunately, they lost two of their children
Mhm.
tragically, and that's
Mhm.
how this organization came about. So they're
Mhm.
also going to be out there with their merchandise and paraphernalia because they do raise money. So as you buy those things, it's 100% going to the foundation to help other families. And then we're going to have Whole Meds is going to be out there set up with their information for their behavioral health, as
Okay.
well as Elite. group incorporated, which is the two people, Harry Sutherland, who came together with Whole Mess to together collectively to do the Diamond sponsorship. So
Mhm.
they both are into the mental health component. So they'll have their tables out there, and then of course, Turning Point Community Development Corporation is going to have the
Mhm.
education bus out there,
Yeah.
and it's exciting because I've seen some of the components of it, and I think that the community is going to love it. And then I would be remiss if I didn't mention that the Norlina Fire Department is going to be there. I'm Norlina all day long, all day strong. So having our fire department out there representing is to me is a big deal. So I'm pretty excited about that. And those are some of the nonprofits that'll be out there. But I want to urge everybody, you know, all of these people that are out there, from our musicians, from
Mhm.
our organizers, from the nonprofits to the community leaders. Everybody is there to serve a purpose. They're all entrepreneurs in a sense, right?
Right.
And I believe, and this is my motto, personal motto, is that we are our community's keepers. And this
Yes.
event represents us keeping the community together. We don't have to do what the world is doing, but we can do what our community can do, and that is to come together with love, with
Yes.
fun, with support. It's our job to make sure that we're thriving. It's our job to collectively come together, and we have to show by example. So I'm hoping that this event can be an example of how all communities, no matter who you are or where you're from or what your background is, no matter if you're Republican or Democrat or independent, it don't matter. We all are community. We can't
Mhm.
let the world divide us, and we can't let the world dictate how our behaviors should be. So hopefully this event can inspire people to put aside those things that don't matter. We all people, and we
Yes.
all can love on each other very simply. And this coming together, this process, this event, it's all about the community and how we can love on each other. Of course, God above everything. Oh,
Mhm.
as a matter of fact, thinking about God above everything, Jamitra's also going to be out there too with her table because she does have a play coming up, God over
Mhm.
everything, at the end of the month. I think it's April 29th, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
But she has an event coming up as well, and that's exciting to have somebody who's putting a play together, something to get something else that's new for Warren County,
Yeah.
this magnitude. So I'm just thrilled, and I'm thank you so much for having me here to do all this talking.
Yeah.
But but
But
I
it's
feel
all good. It's all positive. So that's what we're both of us. That's what we're all about.
and
Just
you
letting people
are
know.
and the Warrenist is our media sponsor for that day. So I'm excited about that. So I ain't got to be all over the place taking pictures, recording this, and doing that, which I probably still would do some of that anyway. But we'll have you out there, and I'm excited about that. And we have another vendor, a creative source. She'll be out there and she'll be taking pictures. She has a little tent with backdrop and all that great stuff. So she'll be out there. So I'm pretty excited about that too.
Awesome, awesome. And again, this is the 10th annual Community Celebration and Food Truck Rodeo. It is this Saturday, April 1st. Yeah, it's April Fool's Day. Don't go out there acting a fool.
It
But
ain't
we're
no
gonna have
joke.
fun. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a great time. Yeah, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Live
Now, Easter,
entertainment.
well,
Hmm.
the Easter egg hunt starts at 10. So,
Oh, that's right.
for the, because we partner, we kind of collab with the Warren County Parks and Rec. I'm sorry to interrupt you, by the way,
Oh,
but
you're
we
good.
partner with the Warren County Parks and Rec, and they already have over 100 pre-registered youth that'll be out there at this Easter egg hunt. So when we say this is one of the biggest Easter egg hunts of at least here in this county, it
Mhm.
is the biggest, and that
That's
starts at 10
huge.
o'clock. And the last thing I forgot to mention is that every year when we do these events, we do have a prayer walk that starts at 10 as well for kidney disease awareness, and it's
Mhm.
to commemorate an unsung hero, Jericho. Jericho um, has a personal connection because he donated his kidney in his passing. His family donated his kidney to a relative of Dr. Darensburg. And so we
Oh.
honor him with this walk every year at every community celebration. So
Mhm.
for our unsung hero, Jericho, this prayer walk is for him. So if you want to be a part of the prayer walk, come on out there at 10 o'clock and go ahead and get your walk on before the event starts.
Beautiful. That is so beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on. This was way long overdue, so I'm so thankful.
I'm not used to being on this end, Crystal, so thank you for having
I know, and I'm so happy I'm doing this.
Thank you so much. And I'm so happy that you are going to be out there covering the event. I do know that Lucy Weldon from the Warren Records is going to be out there as well. And who else knows what other media will be out there? We send out our requests and we're going to see what happens, right?
Yep, sounds good. All
I'm
right,
going
so
to,
again, the 10th annual community celebration and food truck rodeo is
yes,
this Saturday, April 1st. I'm gonna say it starts at 10 a.m. So go out there and walk and take part. And we say 2 o'clock, but who knows?
who knows?
When
We're
it's a
going to be
good
out there.
time, we lose track of time.
We do. But I thank you so much again for having us. I am looking forward to this event. Please, everybody, come on out and have a good time. And I think that this is going to be something that's unforgettable and something that I believe will be in your memories for a very long time. So, without further ado, I want to say miracles and blessings. God over everything, winning. Yes, let's come together.
Love
Let's have
it. So
fun.
thank you so much for joining me today. Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. I want to mention again that it is at the Warren County Recreational Complex. I want to make sure
Yes.
people know that as well.
Yes,
But
it's 840 U.S. Highway bypass in Warrenton, North Carolina. 840 U.S. bypass in Warrenton, North Carolina.
Warrenton, North Carolina. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you everyone for tuning in. For more information, you can always follow the Warrenist on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all those different places. I'm just about everywhere. Have a wonderful day and hope to see you all Saturday, again, April 1st, 10 a.m.
Yes.
to 2 p.m. for the 10th annual community celebration and food truck rodeo in Warrenton. So, all right, y'all have a good one.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye.